Hi, boys and girls. We're back for another reading of Hank Zipzer Help Get Me Out of Fourth Grade. We left off, and Cousin Ralphie from WFUN might have some sort of idea. Yeah, you caught me with my hair pulled back and coming in from outside working on a Saturday to read to you today. I dropped to the kitchen floor and started rolling around on Ashley's pink and white speckled linoleum. It's a good thing Grandma Wong had left the kitchen to watch the one show that she never misses during the day, SpongeBob SquarePants. I know it might seem weird for a 76-year-old lady from Canton, China, to love SpongeBob, but some things you just can't explain. SpongeBob tickles her funny bone. Zip! Are your pants on fire, or have you just totally lost your mind? Frankie asked. My mind is on fire, I answered. Cousin Ralphie just delivered the answer to all my problems. I don't get it, Ashley said. All he said was the 15th caller who can name 10 American cities with the word rock in them wins a trip to Philadelphia for the opening concert of Stone Cold Rock. True, Ash. But you're leaving out the most important point, the date. May 24th and 25th, Frankie said. What's the big deal about that? Frankie, my man, I said, getting up from the floor, when exactly are the fourth grade parent-teacher conferences? This Friday, today is Tuesday, so what's that make Friday, May? How does the 25th sound? I asked, grinning like a mouse that had just eaten a giant piece of Swiss cheese. Okay, Ashley said, so Stone Cold Rock is opening the same time as the parent-teacher conferences. How does that help you? Guess who's going to win the contest and send his parents to the opening? I said. Where did Cousin Ralphie say the concert was? Ashley asked. Philadelphia, I said. And even though I'm not a geography expert, let me point out one thing. People who are in Philadelphia cannot be in New York attending a parent-teacher conference. It's a known fact. Zip, this plan might actually have some possibilities, Frankie said. That was a big compliment coming from him because Frankie is a plan-making genius. I wonder if he knows our friend Griffin from the other book. Philadelphia, city of brotherly love, I hollered, drumming out a beat on Ashley's kitchen table. Roll out the welcome mat because here come Stan and Randy Zipzer. Ashley went into action as only she can do. When there's something that has to get done, you want Ashley Wong to be in charge. She's all business. What caller did Cousin Ralphie say would get the chance to win the contest? She asked. I think he said the 15th. She turned the radio up loud. That was the third caller, Cousin Ralphie announced. Let's take a break and hear from the good folks at Cristiano's Market, where the shelves are full and that's no bull. We've got to move fast, Ashley said. She grabbed a piece of paper from the counter and picked up a pencil. I need 10 cities with the word rock in them, she said. Quick! Little Rock, Arkansas, Frankie said. That's one, Ashley said, writing it down at the top of her list. Come on, guys, I said. Only 9 more to go. What about Rockville Center, Long Island? Ashley said. Excellent, I said. Write it down. Only 8 more. My friends know that when it comes to writing things down fast, they'd better not count on me to write it down accurately. I'm not exactly Mr. Accurate. There was a pause. I noticed that we were all being silent. I wasn't liking the silence. I looked over at Frankie. Name a couple more, I coaxed him. I'm all out, man, he said, shaking his head. No ideas. Me either, Ashley said. There's only one person we know who can spit out 8 cities with the word rock in them. And I think we all know who I'm talking about, I announced. I was thinking, of course, of Robert Upchurch, who hibernates in his apartment on the 3rd floor of our building. That is, when he's not hanging out with my nerdball sister. Even though he is only a 3rd grader, Robert is a walking encyclopedia. That kid has so much information crammed into his bony little skull. Sometimes I think he has a computer for a brain. Frankie, Ashley, and I try to keep our distance from Robert because he wants to be our best friend. When you least expect it, he wakes up from hibernation and attaches himself to you like a garden snail. He's that slimy too. His nose produces more mucus than all of the noses in the entire state of Louisiana. Ew. For his birthday, his mom buys him a crate of Kleenex, and he needs another crate by Christmas. He's got slightly used, super absorbent Kleenex wadded up in every pocket of his clothes, and don't even ask what's living in the little compartments of his backpack. Robert's best friend happens to be my sister, Emily, who doesn't seem to mind his leaky nasal faucet. That's because she is queen of the nerds herself. They both love her pet iguana, Catherine, and can spend hours discussing the different feel of lizard skin in all 4 seasons. Dude, Frankie said, this is a serious decision. We go get Robert, and he's going to think we want to be best friends. We'll never shake him. Guys, do we have a choice? Ashley asked. No, we don't. They're probably on the 5th caller. Let's get Robert now. He's in my apartment hanging out with Emily, I said. I'll call him. I dialed my number. It rang 4 times. Then I heard my sister's voice on our answering machine. This is the Zipzer residence, home of Stan, Randy, Hank, Emily, and Catherine Zipzer. Please leave a message and the name of your favorite reptile at the beep. Hank Zipzer, I said into the phone, and I don't have a favorite reptile. I think they're all scaly and creepy. I hung up. So they're not home? Ashley asked. I thought you said Robert was there. He is, I answered. My dad is just not picking up the phone. He doesn't even hear it sometimes when he's in the middle of a really intense crossword puzzle. Ashley threw her baseball cap and bolted for the door. Come on, guys, she said. No time for the elevator. We're taking the back stairs. Ashley's apartment is on the 4th floor, and I live on the 10th. We dashed out of her apartment and ran up the 6 flights to my floor. When we got to my floor, I pulled my key out of my pocket, but I was so nervous I couldn't get it in the keyhole. Here, give me that, Frankie said, and he grabbed the key from me and stuck it in the lock. He tried to turn it, but the lock didn't open. Are you sure this is the right key? He asked. I'll take it from here, I said. Every lock has a little secret. And the thing about ours is that after you put the key in, you have to pull it out just a fraction of a smidge before you turn it. I did that, and the door opened. My dad was sitting there at the dining room table. He's a computer consultant, so he works from home a lot. He likes that because he can hang out in his boxers and do crossword puzzles whenever he gets bored. He's kind of a crossword puzzle genius, if there is such a thing. Hi, kids, he said, barely looking up from the newspaper. What's the rush? He was wearing the blue boxers with the sailboats that matched his favorite metallic blue mechanical pencil, which he stuck behind his ear. Hi, Dad, I called back. I knew I didn't really have to answer his question because he had that I'm deep into finding a 7-letter name of the province in South Korea expression on his face. We whizzed down the hall and flew into my sister Emily's room, where I knew the nerd and nerdette would be hanging out. When I came flying into the room, I never expected to see what I saw. Robert and Emily were hunched over Catherine, the iguana, who was laying across them both, her scaly, ugly head resting in Emily's scaly, ugly lap. Robert was handing an eyedropper filled with what looked and smelled like chicken soup to Emily, who was squirting the yellow liquid into Catherine's mouth. "Don't you guys knock," Emily said. "Catherine's not feeling well." And that is where we're going to leave off for today and find out if the three friends get some help from Robert Upchurch tomorrow.